This 1950s prom dress was one of the dresses from my fall haul. It is made out of rayon satin for the bodice and the upper skirt with net, and then that is over an acetate taffeta skirt, and it has prong set rhinestones on the bodice. You can see here there's quite a bit of oxidation. This poor girl is not quite as perky as she used to be, and there's some holes in the net that I'm not going to be able to do anything about, but we can certainly try to clean and brighten her. There are stains throughout. That first one was a pretty significant one on the front, and then there's some smaller scattered ones throughout. The dress is very small. Somebody asked me one time, do you ever just use a spray spot cleaner, pre-wash on doing for your vintage? And I use it for my regular laundry, but I never thought about using it on vintage, so I thought I would give it a try. So I did some shout on the spots. The bottle was almost empty, so I ended up pouring it on. And then I just took plain water and put the whole dress in it so that it kind of just soaked in that solution, and then rinsed it. So then that didn't really do much, so I'm going on to my usual retro wash and then adding a bit of Dawn and some washing soda. And I'm doing this in a tub and just mixing it around here. And so you can see here that stain didn't really even do anything. So we'll try this next round here and see what happens. So then I decided to let that soak for an hour. And I love it when I see the yellow water, because then we know that this is doing what it's supposed to do. To continue working on that yellow, I used Retro Clean. So this is something, it's sodium perborate, and you have to dissolve it in hot water. So then I put it in a large glass container, and I put boiling water in it to dissolve and stir it around. And I'm doing this in a tub within a tub, so that I can add hot water to the outer tub to try to maintain a temperature. And I'm putting glass plates on top that helps keep the dress submerged, because it's going to want to kind of pop out a little bit of the water. And then I put a big piece of bubble wrap on there and a towel on top that kind of helps, again, maintain the temperature and insulate it. Took a look at it after, I believe it was 2 hours, and it still could use a little more time, so I did 2 more hours, and then I'm just going to call it good. I don't want to soak this too long, because I don't want those metal pronged rhinestones to cause any rust. That stain is still there, not gone completely, just a little bit is still there, so I'm going to my trusty go-to of peroxide, Dawn, and baking soda. I'm just putting it on this spot here, and then I let it sit and rinse it off after 15 minutes, and yay, it finally came out. So now I'm going to do the first rinse. You can see the solution there was leaving some suds, so I did some more rinsing and then let it hang until it's no longer dripping. And put it in a large towel to finish getting some of the moisture out. And then I put it on a dress form, and since it's a fabric dress form, I put a plastic bag inside out so the printing is in the inside. You don't want the print to transfer onto the dress. So I let that air dry, and one of the rhinestones had fallen off. So I go to my little craft cabinet, and I have a rhinestone setter and some rhinestones. So that's the setter there. It's kind of on a spring, and it's got a little place that holds the rhinestone and the prong so that it can join the two together. So you put the rhinestone face down, so you're doing the shiny kind of faceted side face down, the flat side up. Then you turn that prong setting piece, and then you're placing that with the prong sides down, because what it's going to do is pierce through the fabric. So you're putting the fabric face side down on top of the rhinestone. And I made a little disappearing mark on the back so I could see where I'm shooting for. You got to kind of keep positioning it, and I'm sorry the camera didn't quite show it very well. But you're just hitting that kind of plunger down, and it's taking those prongs and setting them on top of the rhinestone. So there, that's all better. So now for the pressing. So I do this on the back side. That's the taffeta underskirt. Then I also did that upper skirt on the back side. And then for the back satin tails, I didn't do them flat. I wanted them to keep more of a rounded shape, so I did it on a sleeve board and also on the edge of the ironing board. And look at how much prettier those are. So there's that stain before, and yay, after it's gone. And the color, I really wasn't sure what the net, it was just kind of an odd ecru shade, but it turns out it's a very faint peach, which I was not expecting. The rest of the dress beautifully brightened up to a cream shade instead of that kind of dingy, dirty ecru shade that it was, and yellowed. And this classic, I love those tails. I love these 50s prom dresses. It's got the beautiful little pleated bodice there with the rhinestones. And it's so much prettier now, and I'm so glad I put the effort into it.